I think you get psyched out if you think about your cardio. I've always tried to work on my cardio. Like I just got a bicycle, super stoked, you know. I think wrestling is more pacing. Like yes, you need to have like good cardio. You need to work on your body and like, but it's pacing, you know. Right. It's like, and I mean, you're gonna get blown up no matter what. Like no matter who you are, you're gonna feel tired. But it's like it's kind of just pushing through. Like I've had matches where I'm like, oh geez, but I get up. I do, you know. It's like I got things I got to do. I got to win, you know. Yeah. So I mean, cardio is like crazy, especially like training wise. Like that's where like the cardio really like Japan, right? Like I'm doing 300 squats. I'm running the ropes and like it's all fundamentals. Like people think I'm going over there and like I'm learning, you know, Great Muda's like special, right. You know, whatever. But I mean, over there it was just like literally a reset. Like, but it's like it was different because it's like every single day. And then the days that I'm not, I'm wrestling shows, you know. And it was every single day. And if we weren't working out or if we weren't training, like. It was like vice versa, or we were going swimming, or we were riding bikes, or I mean,
just being active all there nonstop.
I loved it, but at the same time, it's just so grueling. But it's like that's every day for them. Yeah. I got a little taste for 3 months, you know. So, I mean, I just try to keep that mentality of like, just like bust your butt, you know.
It's a good habit.
Yeah,
to bring back, right?
Yeah, and mostly when it comes to like exercise, I feel like. For when I had like an hour-long match.
That's what I was going to ask you about. How did you get prepared for that 60-minute match?
I was able to reach out to somebody and they gave me amazing advice. But also, the way that I looked at it, like when it came to like my personal training, because I knew about this when I was in Japan. So like I'm now training for a match in America while I'm in Japan. It's just like. No, it's just like, because this is like one of those things where it's like wrestling is so important to me, and I respect all those guys who can go for an hour or more, you know. Yeah. I want to be one of those guys. So it's like, it was the most mentally exhausting thing, just getting into, just like leading up, you know. But I was doing more body resistance, more free squats, more push-ups and pull-ups, and just because it's like I'm thinking like I'm not going to be lifting a bench press in this match with this guy. I'm not going to be lifting any dumbbells. I'm going to be carrying my own body. So if I get comfortable and I like, you know what I mean, like with my own, you know. Right. And at that time I was much heavier. I really beefed up because it's like all I was doing was working out over there. And it's like after that I hurt my foot, and it's like because when I'm bigger I get hurt, man. I weigh more. I my body fluctuates like crazy. My weight, you know.
I have that problem too.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Talking to the choir, right?
Yeah, exactly.
But I mean, I was just wanted to really get like a message across with what we were doing. Like me and Ryan Kidd, he's great in my opinion. Like I've always had good matches with him, and him and DDT Fund reached out to me, and I thought it was like the perfect return match. Yeah. You know, so I just immediately was just like running and body resistance, and I think that's like the way to go. Believing in yourself is the most important thing. Right. I mean, Dusty Rhodes could go for 2 hours, bro. Look at him, you know. Yeah. It's not about really like where you're at, like physically, right? It's mentally, you know.
Right.
You know, because when that bell rings and you're in there for an hour, like it's almost like they lock the cage behind you and you're in there with the lions, you know. It's like, you know, are you not entertained? Like you got, like, and I'm so fortunate that it was received well by the audience, because the audience there was like a smaller dojo kind of show, but like they gave me so much energy because they were into it. Like they just kind of said screw it,
right?
You know, they paid for their movie ticket and they're fucking invested, and it meant the world to me. Like they threw money in the ring. It was like $26. I don't know. Yeah. I didn't even care. Like I just said put it towards the
fund.
Put it to the fund. I don't care. Whatever. Yeah. But I mean, it was just validating in my opinion.
Well, you know what I noticed, and because you've been in, you wrestled Japan, you did U.S., and you did Mexico.
Mexico City, Arena, Mexico.
You also did Europe, right?
Yeah. I was there for like a 10-day tour.
How different is the wrestling in each of those? Because I know they say there's European has its style, Japan has its style, Mexico has its style, and there's the U.S. style. How different is it, and how do you adapt to the differences in?
I'll tell you how I feel about it right now. But I feel like because I haven't spent so much time in all those places that it's not really even fair for me to gauge. Like Japan would be the one that I would be able to gauge the most because I spent like almost 3 months out there. And I lived out there, and it was everything. So there they were quiet because I'll just it's a rough example, but it's like you compare them to like PWG, and like when it comes to like Kai Tai shows and PWG shows, like the fans go there because they know like they can almost be a part of the show. It's like almost makes the show even better because it's like the chants and blah 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 and the mishaps that happen and the reactions. But in Japan, it's like they don't necessarily want to be a part of the show because it's like they're interested and they're watching. If it's quiet, it's not a bad thing. It's like you'll get them, but it's like they'll know it when they see it over there. And it was very interesting because I never tried to I always tried to mix it up, do something different over there, and it was like a totally different style. So like I'm doing different things, and I'm not doing I've had to all these places that I went to besides I guess Mexico, because Mexico was almost like a one match, but I had to change my style for each of those places. Japan was definitely very big fight feel almost because it's so quiet. You're just looking at that guy across the ring from you, and it's like, well, it's on, and. One of my favorite matches, the one that sticks out of my head, I try to think of things like I did in wrestling in Japan, and I had a match for the UWA World Middleweight title against Honda Yuma, and it was quiet. It was quiet in the beginning, and then I felt like that was the only time when I was in Japan where I felt like I was it was an American crowd because it was just they were into everything we were doing, and I felt very proud. It was one of my last matches in Japan, and I was just I felt very accepted. I felt like one of the Japanese wrestlers.
Yeah, you're accepted by the crowd.
And my music, I have a new song now, but I had an old song where it was Barbara Seville, dun 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 dun.
Oh, okay.
Dun, dun, dun.
Okay.
So and they would clap along to it. I was getting over, right? And it was so cool. I loved it. They made gifts, they made dolls of me and all these types of It was amazing.
How, when you first saw a doll of yourself?
It's pinch me, bro. I'm just a normal person.
I think that would be pretty cool.
I'm just a person that loves wrestling,
Yeah.
The fact that people rock with what I do, it's just to me, it's just awesome. It makes me want to do more, and not even in a selfish way, but it's how many more, if I think 2017 and I was involved with all these promotions that did all these fundraisers, right? I in part helped raise thousands of dollars.
People pay to see you, pretty much, yeah.
And no. And there's so much talent.
Yeah.
And some maybe did pay to see me, but I'm just saying I can make that if that's possible within wrestling, and I'm in wrestling, I can make that happen. With me, I'm not really too concerned with being famous. I'm not really too concerned with being rich. I can always make it work. I'm not helpless in the world. I just really want to make a difference wrestling because this is what I love, and I'm able to touch people, not necessarily trying to. Right. So if I'm really trying to make a difference, I feel like I could reach something. And at least if not, at least I tried.
Yeah.
Who knows? It's not just doing cool moves, to me. And some guys anybody who gets ready and they have matches and they've become a wrestler, I have respect for them, Some people don't want to make this their whole life. Some people want to do it on the weekends. It's cool. I got respect. I love wrestling.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm not here to gauge my love is more than your love, but it's just for me, it's I want to do stuff. I want to I want to make a difference. I don't just want to have money, and I don't want to just buy cool things or have this clout and just be a jerk. Nobody could be able to approach. I want to be proactive. Have things to offer.
Right.
So.
Yeah, that's pretty cool because. That's a good goal to have because, that's what you're going for, Especially, like you said, not, to be approachable as well.
Yeah.
Because there's some guys that aren't approachable.
Because man, I'm
you become too big in your own head. You don't want that.
And because I come back and I was gone for a little while, so I come back and I just don't want to go and step into maybe Jesse's training and just all right, guys, wait, this is what I did in Japan. I don't want to be that guy. If you want, maybe if there's something that you think you can learn from me, then you're going to ask me. Why the heck would I come up to you and be all right, look, dude, listen, I'm going to tell you some advice. I got secrets. That's yeah, you're doing the opposite. It's counterproductive.
Yeah.
I want to be helpful. If people don't see me as helpful, they're not going to come to me.
No, you're sense, yeah.
So it's and that's it. I do this so I can learn, and I'm not selfish with any information I learn. I try to be helpful, So I mean, it's just one of those things. I want to, like you said, approachable. It's very important. I don't want, like, the fans are the most important thing to me. Like, without the fans, like, I literally wouldn't be sitting here, you know. So, I mean, when I went to England, my favorite part, you know, was like the meet and greets after every show. It's like, you know, and the kids will lie to you, like, "Oh, who's your favorite wrestler?" I'm just asking because I want to know. You. It's like, you're a liar, but I love you. Give me a hug.
Now you are.
Yeah, I'm taking pictures with these kids and like giving them my tape and like whatever. So I mean, wrestling like was always there for me. It's like, why would I do like be a wrestler and then like if somebody sees me a certain way, like why would I almost like try to like project onto them like I'm like almost elite? It's like I do this because I love it, and you love wrestling, and it's like if you want to know who I am, I'm gonna be cool, you know. Yeah. I mean, even if I'm a bad guy and I'm trying to kill Andy Brown or whatever, you know, I still rock with the kids because my enemy's not the kids,
right?
It's Andy Brown.
Well,
or whoever,
that,
you know. Andy's a good wrestler. And we just tagged. We're good.
Probably
That's
one
an
of the
example. I used
best
to be a
matches of the year.
bad guy.
Yeah.
Huh?
You and Andy Brown almost probably had one of the best matches of the year, right? I think so. And I'm pretty sure
let the crowd choose. Yeah. You know, let the people decide.
Really I just,
you know, it was a match that meant everything to me because my first match I ever wrestled was against Andy, and it was in the same building, but this time it was for a title, and I beat him. You know, so I thought it was very validating, and like, so I mean, and he's what, like their top guy.
Yeah.
So I beat John Cena.
There you go.
EWF, right?
Yeah, the EWF John Cena, right?
And then I disappeared again. Went to England. I thought that was cool. Yeah. You know, I just want to do cool things. Yeah, that's it.
Well,
like
travel
make the fans want more.
Yeah,
you know? It's actually pretty smart. You know, do you find yourself being your toughest critic?
Yeah.
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 Do you go back in the back and be like, I could have done a little more?
I don't even know why you had me on the show. I'm like, no, it's not even that.
No, I mean,
no, but you know what? Yeah, man. I mean, especially now.
No, but
especially now.
I would think that's when you know you care. You want to get better. You are your own worst critic.
Yes.
Right? You have to do that.
Well, I'll ask you the same thing. Like, you know how you just said that about the show. Do you ever, like, when the kids come up to you and they'll be like, whether they're lying or not, but let's say they do tell you, like, oh yeah, you're my favorite. Do you ever wonder, like for example, I'll give you an example. I met Daniel Bryan once, and to me, he seems like he looks at the crowd, not in a bad way. He looks at the people. Yes, that's my man crush. He looks at the fans, and he has that look like, why are you guys cheering me? Like, I'm just a regular.
I'm like
Joe.
You.
Yeah.
Like
do you feel that way? Maybe like I'm just a regular guy trying to entertain you. I'm not. You know,
I don't think I feel like that. It's not even that. I just feel like I don't want to. I'm not here to like scare the children. Mm-hmm. I'm not here to like be mean to kids. You know, because like I was one of those kids that like, I mean, not like I ever had an opportunity, but I probably wouldn't have went up to a wrestler because like people suck and people aren't gonna like sign my crap and like people are so busy and they can't be bothered. Like, but I don't want to be that. Like I want to be like very like. I don't know, get behind, you know, just somebody you can get behind because it's like, I'm not that busy, you know. I mean, I'll stay after the show, you know, and talk to these fans, you know. It's like because it's like these are the people who rock with me, and it's like, what do they like? What they like me, but what don't they like?
Right.
What can I snip? I don't know. I mean, that's like you're going right to your audience, you know. Yeah. I mean, I'm not like. It's not like a big thing. It's not like that deep. But I mean, I have no problem like talking with fans. And I mean, I know that people will look at me in a certain light, but I just try to stay grounded. I'm not like looking at myself like I've accomplished anything. I think like accomplishments are just only there for the meantime. You know, it's like, what are you doing now? It's like you did all these cool things, right? But what are you going to do? Right. So I have a couple things in the mix, you know. But I mean, I'm not trying to. Just like give off this any type of like vibe of anything. I'm still a student. Yeah. You know, so
that's why we go back to a tough critic. So do you watch your videos? Like maybe if somebody uploads a video to YouTube or if you upload them, do you watch it and be like, you know, man, I could have done this or I could have done this move there or the crowd's not too much into it. I should have done something else or
always.
Well, yeah, I would think you would, right? Because
we've had guests where they just
care. You still care about your craft. You want to get better. The second you stop doing that, Oh, I'll just show up tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we've had guests in the past. They're just like,
You
well, I
can't
put on my
just
show and I get out.